Couture is really a perfect playground for a designer to show their real creativity and talent.
Garments which are tailored, which are executed, which are constructed, which are created, crafted for you.
It's made specially for the woman who's going to wear it for a special event.
It's also about paying respect to traditions which have been long forgotten.
Couture for me is the detailing, and it's made to order.
Fine form, finish, quality is priority.
It's a complete fantasy chapter for a brand, really pushing the boundaries. It's a lot of thought gone into the garment.
Opulence means a lot of extravagant clothing.
It's the ultimate arena in fashion. It is a marriage of fantasy and your signature.
We put 10 of the best Indian designers with their creations. It's their fantasy, it's what they think they are best at, the fine tailoring, the attention to detail, and you can see it at the PCJ Delhi Couture Week, which is in association with Audi.
My design philosophy is quite simple. I believe that a woman has to look very feminine in my clothes. So the whole thing is about glamour and simplicity, but every outfit has to make a difference. A woman has to look different. When she walks into a room, people must turn and look and want to look at her. So for me, it's about glamour, a lot of femininity and romance.
Actually, it's a very fun kind of a look because all the girls have these gold masks coming on. And for that, we needed to have the eyes really strong. Therefore, we've done like really black, dark, smoky eyes with very, very thick, long eyelashes that kind of stick out of the mask. The lips are just gold with a little bit of a highlight with silver in the middle. And it's more of a fun look. I mean, it's obviously she's treating it more fun, because it's very structured clothes, it's very big clothes, and for that we need to do everything a little more exaggerated. So yeah, that's what it is. The hair, as you can see, it's just like a lot of height because it kind of complements the masks. So it also gives the girls a little more stature, and it also balances out the width of the garments. So yeah, it's more theatrical, operatic. It's like not the usual soft pretty. It's kind of a little off, which is fun.
My collection this year is fun. It's I've called it the Punjabi rock and roll. I'm a Punjabi, and I think the Punjabis have a great way of enjoying life and celebrating every moment that they live. It's about all the rituals that we have in Punjab and the colors and the flamboyance of the Punjabis. But I've also called it rock and roll, where I've added a contemporary modern element to it. So it's for a young woman or a modern woman who's contemporary, who wants to be very modern, very rock and roll. She's Punjabi, but it's a new take to traditionalism. I think it's spectacular. There's a lot of glamour, there's a lot of flamboyance. It's couture. Every outfit that I've done is a showstopper for me, and I believe a showstopper should only be used when the showstopper reflects the collection or the mood of the designer. And my clothes are quite okay without a real showstopper.
I think Gaurav's collections are always fabulous, and this couture collection is sort of very dreamy, beautiful, and yet a little bit futuristic and modern.
Hi, I'm Shweta Dolly and you're watching FDCI Presents PCJ Delhi Couture Week 2013 in association with Audi.
I think my design philosophy is about newness. It's about experimentation. It's about breaking my own boundaries, actually, to start with, and that ends up breaking boundaries in a lot of things for a lot of people. It rotates in the realms of surrealism and magic realism and a lot of fantasy, otherworldly space.
Gaurav, he always have some mythological influence, and he likes to do something with fantasy, and that's mostly his influence. And this time also, if you look at the ramp, that also has Medusa and her hair. So the look is quite towards fantasy, but it's still very, very wearable. So we have done like a big graphic liner with gold in it, which also mimics the kind of sheen and like the shiny, metallic kind of shine which he uses in his clothes. And that's what we are mimicking in the liner also. And it's the classic liner which has a bit more bigger graphic shape so that it just looks nice. And rest of the skin is completely bare. It's just almost like a porcelain skin and a nude lip with that. So the focus is absolutely on the eyes this time. The hair is also very much like, if you see, there's a nice wave in the hair and it's absolutely slicked back to give a very nice chic look to it. This time he wanted to create drama by keeping it minimal.
My collection for DCW this year is started at a point where actually I was thinking, what would people be thinking of mythology and mystery 1,000 years from now? So, it kind of dwells into primitive and futuristic environments. And it was almost like a play on things. And then, within that, we've made our gowns, we've made our sari gowns, which to some people, it just looks like gowns as well. But there takes to Indian elements here and there. It's very rich, but very sophisticated and very mysterious at the same time. I've used a lot of sheer, which kind of gives layers to the person. It kind of has that hide and seek quality, but not in a very direct way. It's also hidden in layers of embroidery, but then you suddenly see within an abstract patch of sheerness. So that kind of adds to the mystical woman that I'm looking at, who's, 1,000 years hence, but looking at maybe 10,000 years back. There's luminosity in the primitive and the future. So that luminosity kind of connects the two zones and it's reflective in the set. I think our basic USP is newness, which is very simply there. It's like you actually see, we put a Gaurav Gupta garment out there, everybody would be like, wow, that's really different. And that's what a layman would say. So that still remains as a constant. So there's nothing new about that.
What I really enjoyed was hearing them as they walked as well, because it sort of swishes. And it was so magical. I really loved that a lot. And I loved the whites.
Realize that they made a noise. That's so beautiful.
So stunning. It was really magical for me. And I love living in this little magical land. So this was really
just same
surreal for me.
Completely.
So, it's nostalgic yet progressive. And that's what the collection is.
I think Kalki, represents New Age India and modern India and her bent of mind and school of thought. And so with Aditi, they represent now, the India now, in a very beautiful way, in a very forward, yet sophisticated, yet delicate way. And I love that balance in them. And that's why they're here, and that's why we are really good friends now.
I actually got into this outfit only a few hours before. I hadn't seen it or tried it before I got here because I was in America. It's just really lucky that I didn't put any weight on and that I still fit into my measurements because it just fits just perfectly. What I love about it is this stunning trail that comes out on one side. Normally we have the trail in the back, and this one is is on the side and sort of very well balanced with a big slit on the other side. Yes, thank you. So yeah, it looks really beautiful and dramatic. I think Gaurav's collections are always fabulous, and this couture collection is sort of very dreamy, beautiful, and yet a little bit futuristic and modern. So it kind of combines beauty and sort of independence and modernism, which is really nice.
I think with this, the fact that it's Victorian, but at the same time it's still very classic and Indian. He hasn't moved away entirely, and I think that's always nice for a bride, no?
Hi, I'm Sapna, and you're watching FDCI Presents PCJ Delhi Couture Week 2013 in association with Audi.
I think my clothes on women are very feminine. They are very soft. I like flow. I like chiffons. I like soft nets. Whether it's been the movies or whether it's my collections, I always like beautiful soft flow. I love playing with backs. I love sensuous backs on women. When it comes to men, I like structured clothes. I like them very fitted. I like them very slim looking. I like a lot of texture. And I think that whether it's any age, woman or man, any size they come to me to be to be dressed up. I always like to make them look more slimmer, more easy, someone who's very confident. So that's something that I work on. So yeah, I think that my whole style will be very flowy for women for sure.
The look for Manish Malhotra is a bit retro. It's very 1930s inspired, and it's extremely matte skin with the retro kind of plummy, almost like a maroon mouth. And the eyes have a slight accent with half lashes. The brows are just groomed, and the hair is kind of puffed up from the sides. And yeah, that's it.
I like this side more than this side for sure. this time the influence is very 1930s. The entire atmosphere that we are creating is like a town hall of 1930s, 1940s, and it's where the opulence, the affluent, the whole scene that we are creating is a very opulent scene. It's where the viceroys met all the kings and all the princes of various states, and that's what the cross influence, the whole British influence on Indian wear, and that's the mood that I'm captivating in this collection. And for me, whether it's a long flowy kalidar, whether it's a trailing lehenga, whether it is the origin, the thought is Indian, the motives are Indian, whether it's Zardozi or Ari embroidery, that's my Kashmiri work. But the whole feel is different this time. It's a lot of vintage, it's a lot of, like I said, European influence. So for me, this time couture means nice cross-cultural influences. I think the influence of the 30s and 40s, getting it into an Indian wear is a tough call because they're trying to marriage two thoughts. So it's a lot of like structured sleeves, or it's about lots of interesting backs, lots of deep burgundy, royal blue velvets, lots of textured silk, lots of chantilly lace. So here, I think every design house, every fashion designer, every brand, when the influences, the aspirations, the inspirations are worldwide, or moods, or the past or the present, but it's you mold it in the way that you are known for, or what you like doing. For me, what's exciting is when in my Indian wear there's a certain modernity, there's a certain todayness in the clothes, and that's what I've tried to captivate. And I thought Deepika suits this whole collection because, I mean, recently also we worked a lot together. Ye Jawani Hai Diwani Hai, Chennai Express. Now I'll be doing Farah Khan's film for her. So she, at this point of time, I'm working a lot with her. She represents my work somewhere. I'm working with her. And I think that also this collection, which is a little old world charm, but yet it's very sensuous, it's very modern, is something that I think Deepika would really look good in.
Great. I've always been a fan of Manish's work. I think he always does some interesting stuff. But at the same time doesn't move away from what he's best at, which is great Indian clothes. He asked me to work for him and I was more than happy to be here. I think with this, I think the fact that it's Victorian, but at the same time it's still very classic in Indian. He hasn't moved away entirely, and I think that's always nice for a bride, no? To not keep doing the same thing, but to keep it in the same sort of look, but still make it look slightly different. Very comfortable walking, yes. I've been doing, I'm used to wearing heavy clothes. We do in films all the time, and yeah, it's fun.